It's Joe Glynis from the AutoHotkey, and you're about to watch a video with Isaias and Hellbent working through some issues Isaias was having displaying bitmaps in a picture control or cursors displaying in a picture control. And thankfully, the two of them worked through it. There's a lot of good learnings here. It's very, very deep in the GDI library and working with things. Honestly, most of it was over my head, but I just thought I'd make it available in case you wanted to learn this type of thing. So here, enjoy. Just remember, they were just kind of talking and helping. I decided to record it just in case it was something good. Thankfully, they solved it at the end. But yeah, it was pretty deep stuff. Cheers.
So, hey, so let me give you the context first and what the heck is going on. So when a long time ago, on AutoHotkey toolkit, when I was dealing with that, there was a library that was there for taking screenshots. Okay, so it was called SC, like screen capture.
Okay.
So I was rewriting AutoHotkey toolkit in V2. I have stopped that for a little while, but when I saw that library, I said like, hey, we don't have a library in AutoHotkey V2 to do that. So I said, well, let me grab that library and convert it over to V2. It shouldn't be that hard. And in general, it was not terrible. So I created a new class called Screenshot. It's a V2 class. And it has a few functions: screenshot from screen, from active window, from client. All of them rely on this function called capture, which is the one that I'm using. And this is basically what I have came up with that takes the screenshot. Now, in general, this class is working perfectly fine. So I had a little bit of an issue for a while, and then I figured out it was because I was reading. There's a part of this that reads some stuff from the memory here, this numgets, and I was grabbing the information in the wrong order. So the numbers of bytes that I was getting, it was wrong in certain business. But in the end, I figured out now the class can take screenshots. One of the options.
Hold on, can I just ask you something? That part that you were just showing me there, that's to do with you want to capture the cursor.
Here's where, yeah, this is where it goes. So,
so what are you doing here? Are you just drawing an equivalent of the cursor at the same place as your cursor was?
Yeah, so let's go with that. So basically, the fun part about this is that I am using GDI. That's the reason why I'm asking the question to you, because you have been dealing with GDI for a little while. So yes, for the cursor, if you got the cursor, what I do is that I fill out the specific structure that has to be filled out. I get the current information about the cursor, right? So whatever the cursor is right now, I just take it and put it into this structure that has the information, the size, the flags, what cursor you're having, and the position of the cursor. Perfect. I get that. And this is where it was failing before. After I captured the cursor, I get the information out. So I know what cursor I have, I know where it was and whether it was shown or not. That's the only thing that I'm getting at. I go ahead and get the icon, because this here, it just gives you a pointer to a cursor, right? This function here gets that icon.
Okay.
Perfect. I get that icon here. I read the values from the cursor, where the hotspot is, what the icon actually is, the masking, the coloring. I draw that, okay? And that, I'm not really sure if that's using directly GDI, but I think it is under the hood. It draws the icon, and that comes back with my context for that particular cursor and so on, right? So everything good. I delete my objects, then I select my objects, copy them, release them, and I'm good. Now, so everything is working fine, and that creates
the copy and then release. What's this?
Remember that we're dealing with GDI. So when you create some objects here at the top, after you create them and you're using them, you get the device contexts and stuff like that. You have to release them, right? Because the program will not release them by themselves. So you have to do that. And the end, remember, all of this is working fine. Where is the problem? So I create a new bitmap. So what I'm getting at the end of all this process is an H bitmap. So it's a handle to bitmap.
Okay, gotcha.
This now, there's two functions that I use right now. I want to create a third one to save the file, which I know is possible with GDI, but one of them is copying it to the clipboard. This one here, and this one is working, this one is not. Now, let me go through the one that is working first. We first get the object. Again, I think this is GDI stuff. I allocate some memory, lock that memory, copy the memory from the H bitmap into the new memory, unlock that memory, open the clipboard, make sure that it's empty. I copy the data that I just had, the movement that I did, right, into the new memory, and move it to the clipboard. And I close my clipboard. Now, here's the interesting part about this. When I do this process, the cursor information is saved properly into the clipboard. So whatever cursor I have, whether it be an arrow or a hand or this one here, the I-beam, all of that gets put into the clipboard. And when I paste it on Notepad, it works just fine. So perfect. I know that this is working and it's working perfectly. What is the issue? I have a function that what it was supposed to do is just grab the bitmap that I just got, right? So remember that my first process of capturing creates an H bitmap, and I was putting it straight into a picture control. You remember that we can put an H bitmap there. Now, when I do that, if I just put the H bitmap, if I have an arrow or a hand or any type of cursor, it works just fine. But if I have an I-beam, let me show you what it does and you will laugh about this. So I just put my bitmap here. And let me just make sure that this is showing it. Okay, so I run the script. So let's start with a cursor, a normal cursor, and right here on the top, I have it, and it is an arrow. So when I take a screenshot, let me just leave it on. You see my arrow right here, and it was captured correctly, right? Okay. So I know the function is working fine. Perfect. Now, if it is an I-beam, I take my screenshot, but now I get this blank square. And that's only with the I-beam. No other cursor has this issue.
I think I can kind of understand. I don't know why it's doing it, but I think I can understand why. Like I think I understand the principle. The I-beam, when you hover over things, a lot of the times its colors changes. Right?
Right. Okay.
So the I-beam might not be an I-beam. It might be some composite.
Oh, right. Okay. So maybe this bit mask and color here might come into play.
I can't say. I can only say if you hover, you notice that when you hover your I-beam over, well, maybe not this one, but
there are some others. Okay.
It does like I guess a negative version of the color that's underneath it.
Right. Yes, I understand what you mean, because for example, if I have this here, the I-beam is black, but if I'm here is white. I see what you mean.
Yes.
So here on the how do I say, VS Code, the I-beam is white because the background is black so that it can be seen. But in here, it is black because the background is white. Okay.
And in some cases, it even like half of the I-beam itself can change color depending on.
Oh, right. Okay. Right? So that's what's going on. Okay, fine. Now, Tang, the guy that manages the forum, told me, hey, if the clipboard is working, right? So this clipboard is always getting the I-beam correctly. So he said, maybe it is because the way how you're copying the memory prior to setting up the clipboard. So why don't you try to do the same here? Why don't you try to get the object, allocate the memory, copy the memory, and then after you copy the memory, place that memory into the bitmap. All good up to a certain point. What happens is, what I get here, this HDIB, this is an H global memory. It's not, which this is the part where I don't understand that much, because what I'm getting at the beginning, so what I'm copying right here is an H bitmap. So I have a handle to an H bitmap, but where I'm copying it over is not an H bitmap handle, it is an H global handle. Now, my question to you is there any GDI function that can take any global memory and read an H bitmap out of it? Because the only step that I have to do here is to convert the H global to H bitmap so I can put it into my picture control. That's the only step that I'm missing. I went ahead and tried to search on the internet about this, but I didn't find anybody. Like when you look for H global to H bitmap or something like that, I couldn't find anything at all that had to do with that. So
this is also beyond my purview as well.
Yeah, like nobody. So from the GDI libraries, there are some functions that you can convert from H bitmap to H image, and from H image to
the H bitmap itself. It contains a layer for the graphics, right?
So that's my question. Is there any functions in GDI that you can read out an H bitmap out of a pointer? I don't know if you have ever done that, like reading an H bitmap out of, oh, come on. That's the part that has me stumped. Like, I have done the whole process. I know everything is right because it works in the other function. The only question is, how do I get that H bitmap out of that pointer memory?
What is your clipboard? You said your clipboard function works. What exactly does it do? Like, what is the output? Well, what is the output of it?
The output, so let's do this, copy to clipboard. So here's the code. Let me comment this one out. So here, let's just move the cursor here to where the screenshot is at, press Control. So I just did F12. Let me see, hold on. Let me just make sure that I am getting there. So, all right, good. So I have something on my clipboard now, and if I go to any program, let's go to Paint.
Okay, well, there is a function. There is definitely a function, take image from clipboard.
All right, okay, that might be a very good thing. So now, if I go here, well, look at my cursor up there. That's okay, but that's not the one that I wanted. Let's try this again.
Do you have a copy of GDI Plus available? Because I can look up the function, but it'll take.
I think I do. So let me see. Hold on.
So it should be
try something else.
It should be something like get image from.
Okay, there it is. So look at that. Right now, here, this is something that I had on my clipboard. Now I pasted it, and you will see that the H beam is there. So whatever I did when I copied to the clipboard, actually copied the thing.
If you can't find the perfect solution, then I think the easiest solution is just take the intermediate
into the right, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So it is. I know that we have a library. Allow me just 1 second.
I'm looking as well, but my thing isn't. I don't have a
GDI. That's
yet.
interesting. Not folder. I want to open a file. GDI. I got it. So now, clipboard. Oh,
bitmap from clipboard or something like that.
Bitmap.
And I think that's going to create a P bitmap, maybe.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for.
And then you just convert it to an H bitmap.
Right. So now I do not see anything that has to do with clipboard.
I know it's in here somewhere.
Bitmap. Let me see, bitmap.
Because I can go to like the Google Images page, copy something into my clipboard, and immediately put it on my screen.
All right. Get pixels, blur, graphics, release. Draw image.
create bitmap from file, create bitmap from H bitmap, create bitmap. Okay, here it is. It's called GDI plus _ create bitmap from clipboard.
Oh, maybe it's because I have this thing. Okay, hold on. Oh, I got it. I think so set bitmap to clipboard. And basically this is exactly what I did. I just did this process of moving the memory. You see that?
Okay,
so that's what I did. And then
there's another function to
create bitmap from clipboard. So
maybe even here it has information that you need to, so you don't even actually have to do that step. But either way, if your clipboard is working, if you're
the one for the clipboard is working. So I
can probably write a quick code. Do you have a simple way of, do you have like I have a class, I can send you my class, but you don't know how to use it properly. Where I can just take 2 lines of code and do that. I can get something instantly on my screen, prototyping right away.
You mean for getting the clipboard?
Because in this case, because what you want to do right now is you want to test to make sure that you can actually do the transfer back into a P bitmap or H bitmap.
No, H bitmap. So this is what I want to do in the end. So create bitmap from H bitmap. Hold on. Get clipboard data to. So this is the only thing that I have to do. And after I have the H bitmap, I want to as soon as I get this H bitmap, that's the one that I want to show on my.
If you're showing,
this is the only thing that I need to do. And basically for me, I already have the image copied to clipboard. Then I will just
call up that other function.
So I'm just gonna on the show. So let me here. I got my I don't have to do all of this because it's already done. Now, the funny thing about this guy is that I already have. So hold on, the clipboard. Where does it set the image? It sets it to the clipboard, and then I can just do this. So get clipboard data type pointer, and that would be my this H bitmap. So I would do this, and second of all, I could just copy this and put it inside my show function. So that way we don't need to.
You can clean that, obviously clean that up if you want more later.
Right, exactly. So let me see. Oh, that's interesting. What? Why?
Well, wouldn't it should be?
Oh no, I know what it is. Screen.
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
image, right? So from there, copy to clipboard. Why isn't it taking it?
Wouldn't it be this?
No. I know what it is. The problem is that I need a static function called copy to clipboard, which calls the public one copy to clipboard. So it is screenshot.image.copy. Oh, no. So yeah, it has to be the other way around. So this is the static one. Sorry.
Okay, so that's a class method.
Yeah.
It's not an instance method.
Right. That's exactly right. So what I'm doing is just screenshot.image.copy to clipboard.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yep. So for this class method, I am creating a public one that can call it, but I don't think I need to do that. So screenshot image copy to clipboard first. After I copy it to clipboard, this copy to clipboard returns. No, it just sets it to the clipboard. And then from the clipboard, I just take it, get clipboard data, take it, and that is going to be my bitmap here. That, it is interesting. Let's try it out. So I could just stop this up just to show. And now from here, stop it right there. And do this. Ooh. Let me see. No. Where? Why? Oh, sorry. Yeah. God damn it. That's the one problem about it. But now.
See, I don't quite understand what you have going on here, because usually I can call a static method. I can usually call a static method, and depending on what's calling it, it determines the, like, you're using this, which would be your static, your class.
Right. So are you using V1, right?
Pardon? This in this case is the class, not the instance.
Right. So that's the problem. So in V1, you can do this kind of things and it will not complain about it. But in V2, you do have to know which one you're calling, whether you're
yeah, but if you're calling see, okay, so see and show, what if you just call this?
In the show? Yeah, so the problem here is that this here.
Sorry, I mean, I'm talking about the screenshot, the screenshot.image clipboard copy to
this
clipboard.
Here.
Yeah,
you mean this?
This.
Well, it depends, because let me see. I take a screenshot from screen.
So image is an instance.
That
right?
is an instance image now, right?
Yeah.
So this is an instance. And when I call the show, this refers to the instance.
Yeah, but then you're
this
calling
here now I'm calling it. Yeah, so let me try this from the instance, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Let's try that out.
But you have to fix, you did some other stuff with your method. You did some like static and all that stuff.
So well, but I do have well, this is really annoying.
Can you not write your clipboard copy to clipboard as an instance method?
Right.
Or generalize it enough so that way you're passing it your this object?
Right. Let me try it. Right. Okay, that supposedly worked. Well, I have a 0 there. So now let's check what happened there. So once I do this, it goes to the buffer. So this, I do have an H bitmap here. I do have a pointer. This created my memory allocation. This moved the memory. It opened the clipboard. It emptied. It set the pointer up. So that set the information. Now this closed it. And here's the problem. This H bitmap, which refers to the screenshot image class, right? When I come out of that, now this here refers to something else. Oh no, it is. I do have a pointer there. Now, I'm trying to get the clipboard data number 2, and I'm trying to get a pointer there, but that actually emptied my, yeah, that emptied it. Why? Let me verify what the heck happened there.
As long as you just,
let me try something.
You might have something where it's just you're going to the class default object and the instance object. Just make sure you don't have that going on.
Let me.
So what's calling show? Show is being called by the instance, right?
Yes.
That means you also need to copy to the clipboard unless you're passing something to it.
No, I already, yeah, exactly. I copied it to the clipboard. So now, so that's why I stopped here. Let me go ahead and open up the Paint program and see now if, yeah, I do have my instance. So I do have the image on my clipboard. So up to this point, this copy clipboard worked just fine. The one that is not working is this guy, get clipboard data. That one is not working because when I call it, it's returning 0. That's the question. Like, I don't know why.
Let's try a little quick debug. In between those 2 lines, put a sleep for 30 milliseconds.
Hold on, let me double check something. So, oh, sorry. I think I know what it is.
Okay.
I have to get these guys first. Oh, and look at this. This is the pointer size. No, it is okay. I can use pointer there. So now this part here, I have to open up the clipboard before trying to get information out of it. So here we go. This is a pointer that should work fine. So now I open the clipboard, get if there's something there, and then try to get the clipboard data. If I don't do that, probably that's what it's. So now I have this. Hold on. What is this? F5. Right. There we go. So this is open. There you go. And now, oh, the icon is not shown either.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's so interesting. So you know what? I think it is not about the data itself. I know that it's not about the data itself. It's the control that has issues displaying that. So now the controls, that's what I'm thinking. The control, I use the alt submit to try to use GDI to display it. If I remove that, I do get the same issue. So I have.
Okay, so presumably, okay, just so I'm correct with this, you are currently able to copy an image into your clipboard and it saves it with that icon on it.
Yes, it works just fine.
So it seems like we have to take one more step. We have to save the clipboard to file and then read the file.
That's a very interesting idea. All right. Yeah, so this was a very good try. Like we tried something very important here.
Okay. So my specialty is not GDI plus. It's this stuff. It's
right. Okay.
What little tiny bit I do know, making it go a few extra miles.
So let me try something. Save bitmap to file. This is what you're doing, right?
Well, you should already have that, because how are you showing the image inside of the?
No, I'm not. So I'm not doing that. I'm just putting the handle to the bitmap. So I'm not having a file. This is actually a memory place.
I'm sorry. In the clipboard. Remember how you opened it up in Paint? How are you opening up in Paint?
Oh no! I'm open Paint and pasting. So I'm not doing that.
Just pasting. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not. So that's the point. I do not have the save to file yet.
Okay.
So that's part of what I was planning on doing after I solved this. But it seems to be that I will have to actually try to save that to file first. And
we don't even know if that's going to fix it then.
Yeah, exactly. I have no clue if that's going to fix it. But it was a good. So here's what we got. But this has to be a pointer to a bitmap, not a handle to a bitmap.
That's just a simple function.
Sorry?
It's just a simple function conversion.
Yeah, my problem. Well, the problem is the pointer that I'm actually using is not a p bitmap. I don't know if that works.
No, you have an h bitmap, right?
Right, exactly. So I have to convert that h.
There is a function to convert.
Convert.
It's no. It's yeah. It's h. It's p bitmap to h bitmap. Convert h p bit. Yeah.
Hold on. I think this is the one that does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So create bitmap from. All right. So this is what I'm looking for. So this gives me a p bitmap. So let's try that out. So first of all, I'm going to work on that later. So let's just do this. At this point, when I take a screenshot, let me just 1 second. When I take a screenshot from screen, I think when I take the picture from screen, I already do set the H bitmap. Here we go. And that H bitmap is set to, hold on. Oh, that's interesting. It returns an image which sets this H bitmap. So that's cool. I get an image that already has the H bitmap on on its thing. So when I do this, I took the screenshot. I don't need to do any of this right now. I already have, oops. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So now from here, this would be this dot hbitmap. This would be pointer. So this is another pointer. This, what are you trying, man? I think I don't need to do any of that in V2. You just have to
I think a lot of that stuff didn't even actually work in the GDI Plus. I think it was just setting it up.
And this should be and a 0. You have to pass it like that. And what is this guy here? This palette. Well, is 0. So let's start with palette being 0. And later on, we will talk about that. And this is a pointer. So yeah, let's leave it like that. This would set this up for me. So that would be a if not bitmap throw value error, and that would be did not create the bitmap from handle or something like that. Doesn't matter. Later on, I will figure out what to say. So this should have something. Now that I have this p bitmap, then I would use create bitmap. So sorry.
Save bitmap to file.
Save bitmap from to file. So we have that save bitmap to file. So this is what we're looking for and what we really want. I don't care about anything. I just want to do this. So what he was doing is, if it is Unicode, is doing a lot of things. If it is not, oh God. So we are always in Unicode.
How about just for testing, include the GDI Plus library and just use the function.
You can't. No, you can't.
Oh, yeah, because it's plus. It's
is V2, right? That's why I'm doing the library, because there is no library for V2. So now here's the thing. Let me verify, what is he doing? He's grabbing stuff from, okay, so this is for the string. So what he's doing is converting the string to a white character. I don't think I need to do that anymore. I just use the string thing. Here we go. And the codec, what is that?
That's usually a decoder of some sort to read the.
If not codec, so I have to have a codec. And that is from, yeah, that just got a little bit more. Let me do this. Let me
probably
get
does it have to do with his encoder?
Right. Yeah, but here's the thing. I think I can tell it what it is. So if they hopefully give me encoder parameters, it's just a constant, and that would be, it's a UINT. Shoot. I wished it was, oh, that's a class. Freaking hell. Let me see, hold on. Get encoder parameter list size and get encoder parameters. And then you get the count here. And after he gets the count, yeah, I will have to sit down and do this one. Right. So yeah, at least I got a very good idea of where to try this out. I wish we could have gotten something on the screen so that way we can know that it's actually saving, because it might be just saving the same thing onto a file. It might just save that white square again. I don't think so, because everything is working fine except when I put it in the control. That's what's going on.
Wait, oh, no, that wouldn't work. I was going to say, what if you could just put that clipboard into something and then capture that, but no.
What do you mean?
It's like,
hold on. Is there an image from clipboard? This creates the P bitmap. Is that what I want? No, I already have the P bitmap here, so that's not it. Now, is there a set bitmap to clipboard? Create bitmap from clipboard. No, okay. So, and let me, just for fun, open the original one that I was actually converting, which is in here. This file is the one that I'm converting, and he has one bitmap to file. This is what he's doing.
Save H bitmap to file.
Now, here's the thing. He gets an object into a buffer, creates a file. That could be a write file, okay? And then he, okay. All right. All right, I get what he's doing. And close the handle. Well, maybe. Let's try this out.
Sure.
I think this one might be simple enough. Let me try this. So this would be the bitmap that we already have. This doesn't work like that anymore. This is actually a, we already have a get object up here, which, where is it? I know that I've done that before. Right, yeah, this is exactly it. So this is what we're doing. This is basically it. I get a buffer. In this case, he's calling it OI. I will later on do that. I have my bitmap, my OI, how it is 84. That's okay. So this is good. I already have what I need. Now down here, I'm going to create a file called S-file. This is not how it works anymore. This is a pointer.
Isn't this already updated code though?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
So now this is a lot of ints. This guy is the only one that is annoying here because create file, what does it take? Give me just a second. This is the part, that's the reason why I'm kind of like converting it into V2, because there's a lot of things.
I thought that somebody had already gone through and created a new version of the GDI Plus library.
Well, I'm not really sure about that. So I was not, well, maybe there's a GDI V2.
Because I know that I think Robo Design from the forum, he does a lot of this stuff.
All right, let me double check. But hold on. See the original GDI, but this is the GDI 2. Okay. Nope. I want to see this guy. The problem as well is that many of these libraries were done when AutoHotkey was in beta mode, and then they
yeah.
There's a lot of things that do not work the same any longer. So this is the save to file, maybe save to bitmap to file. Let me see what this looks like. Oh, he put both of them in it. Oh God. If version is less than 2, really? Yeah, no. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop right here because I do this project. I'm doing it for some other things that we're going to do later on. But right now I'm focusing on something else. But I already know where to look for And so let me see. This would create that, I would assume. Let me see. Yeah. I would assume this is gonna work just fine. All of this might work just fine. Later on, I just have to. And where is that being saved? Like, it says create file, right?
Mhm.
But where is the path to that file? You see what I mean?
That wasn't it the S file parameter? It was. I think you're missing. You didn't.
Oh, right. Okay. So this is actually a pointer. So basically, if I create this, so this is not like that anymore. It is like, we have S file equals, let's say, a desktop slash test. Sorry, test dot what, PNG or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the point is that this is
Now,
a str pointer.
is this function doesn't have a value? Because I know that in the other function there's a value that you can use for the quality.
Yes. So here, well, no, it just the HBitmap and
Okay,
the file
so this
location.
one-
So
That's this version, but on the other version of that from the original GDI plus library, it has
yes, you have a quality kind of thing going on, which here in the convert function, he has an end quality
okay,
to it.
so he's calling up the convert after he's okay. So
No, he's actually this save bitmap to H file. He's calling it inside this convert function.
gotcha.
Here, so he just loads the library, he loads the GDI, he creates the file, and look at that, he's just putting BMP there, and then just straight up doing all the things into this BMP file. So let's default to BMP just in case. BMP, I don't really care what it is. So if I have
my experience with the PNG and the BMP is the PNG is superior, it's faster, and you still get the exact quality.
Right. Yeah, okay, yeah. But I don't know if the code that I'm copying, does it take into account? It doesn't really, well, from an HBitmap, I don't know if when it is creating the file, if it is BMP. I think the bitmap is BMP directly, unless we convert it to something else. But let's go with that for now. So this, I just have the string pointer to that path. It just goes ahead and does everything like this. Now let's just call this function and see what the heck happens. Let me just have a v variable so that later on, image, when I do this, let's just do this. So the image.save. So that should, in theory, just start it off. Right, so that took the screenshot. I would assume I have a bitmap handle. I go in here, it gets the S file location, that's cool, gets my buffer. Oh shoot, what is happening there? Hold on. Oop. That shouldn't be an if statement. I would assume that when I did this, no, he didn't have an if statement there. Hold on, where is it? No, he didn't have an if statement. So let me remove that real quick. Let's just do this. F5, F12, we go in. This gave me a pointer, so it didn't fail. Now, I write to the file, holy crap, I knew it. Something like that was going to happen. So yeah, I will have to go and verify. That's just the NumGet. I know what it is. It's the NumGet that you have to specify what they are now for every single time. And I think all of them are ints for now. But yeah, so it's really annoying because now every time you try to NumGet something, you have to specify what type of number you're getting. So you cannot just simply say.
It's getting closer to C. It's moving away from C++.
Kind of. Now let me see. Hold on. Okay, that didn't fail. That gave me a 1. I think 0 is bad. It's writing to. Okay, so this is a number, but got a bar ref. Okay, so this is right here is the OI dot pointer. We're getting closer and closer now. And it closed the handle and it finished. Let's double check what happened there. So I think I have to go ahead and delete the file later. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that wrote the file.
But we need to see if it has the icon.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Oh my God.
The icon, you're almost there. You're almost there.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one. So let me try that out. So I have the cursor right here. Let me just remove this stuff. F9.
I thought it was F12.
F12. No. So F9 to run it, F12 to take the picture. I go to BMP here. Does it have? There it is.
It does.
So now let's go ahead and
you can load that
image.
picture.
Right. I can
And
load
you can
that
delete it as soon as you load it. You can delete it, or you can just keep overwriting the same one.
Yeah, I could just go ahead and use A10 here. This is going to be my stream.bmp. I'm going to use this as my file. This is going to be fun. So we got this guy, and instead of an bitmap, I'm just going to use, sorry, this is not it. This here, which I'm moving away from the quotation marks. Okay, so that now should, in theory, hold on. So my show function should save the file temporarily. So this, so that you don't have to do it yourself. It will do that by itself. So this is the image.show, and this guy will then here it would just use, I don't have to create any of that, none of this. I just have to use this guy here. That would
And
be
it should be this or
this, right? Yeah, so it would be this, save. That would just do this, and we should be right. That is interesting that I go ahead and show the main group. Okay, so let's try it again.
What the heck?
That's amazing. That's so cool. So again, I think to my point is the control that is doing the issue. That's a very interesting.
How does that make? That makes no sense. I don't understand. I don't get.
Let me try this old submit. You see, so I get
That
myself
makes no sense. That makes no sense at all, because you have an image. It's loading that image.
Oh, I got it. So when you use alt submit, you use GDI to show the image. So when I do F12 now, it does have the cursor.
So
in it.
that means your the normal image viewer must be using the same thing then.
Sorry?
The normal image viewer, like I don't get. Okay, so you're loading it from a file. The file has been created. You go and look at the file. The file doesn't have this block in it, but then you go and take it in. That makes no. I don't understand.
Well, let me explain. So what happens is that the picture control. So this guy here, let's just open it.
But as far as I'm concerned, the picture that it's reading is just binary data. Like it
No. Let me explain. So that's not it. That's not entirely true. So the picture control uses an engine to render that binary data. Okay.
Yeah. But that binary data shouldn't contain alternates. It shouldn't contain.
No. There is no alternates. So what happens is, if you don't use alt submit, it uses a specific engine, which is an old engine, in which that binary data, it doesn't understand it and puts it as a blank square.
Okay. I
Now,
got it.
as soon as you use Alt Submit, it uses GDI plus. This is the newer library, because if you don't use it, it uses the GDI, the old one, right? Now, if you use Alt Submit, it uses the GDI plus library, in which those zeros and ones make sense, right? So I understand that. The funny part about
I still don't understand that. I don't understand that.
so the funny part about this,
the way I see it, the way that I see it is, let's say I have a rock, okay? And I just go to the rock and I start typing in ones and zeros and blah, blah, blah. Now that's always there. So if I take that rock, I can only see the ones and zeros.
I'm gonna, no. Let me explain. There's one part that you're missing. For bitmaps and images, and specifically PNG images and stuff like that.
I think you're talking about the H bitmap layer. So it's not just the P bitmap.
No, not only that. Let me explain. No. So, for example, the difference between JPEG and PNG is that PNG has transparency in it, right? So you can have zeros and ones that represent a color. But you can have zeros and ones that also represent opacity, right?
Yes.
Now, the image that I just saved, that one has some numbers in it that represent opacity, because the I-beam cursor is not simply an image. It has opacity in it. It's transparency. So it has transparency in it.
What I was assuming was, you know how you can do some software where you can do layers? Like you can have a raw layer
as well. Yeah, it has those kind of things as well. Now,
that must be what's going on.
So GDI, the old GDI library does not care about opacity or anything like that, because he was just working with BMPs and JPEGs. But now the GDI Plus also works with, well, and I'm just saying this in my ignorance. I don't know exactly if this is the case, but I know that for a fact, the PNGs and stuff like that, if you want to use PNGs and stuff like that, you have to use the Alt Submit to use the GDI Plus library.
It sounds like it's not taking a static image. It is
a static image.
Would you describe it as creating a composite image?
It is, because look at this. So there are some formats supported without the GDI Plus, which is GIF, JPEG, BMP, ICO, and cursor, and any image. None of them has transparency. Now, the GDI Plus is used by default on other images formats like PNG, TIFF, EXIF. Those are the newer ones, and I'm quite certain the image that I just took has transparency on it.
If you saved it as a PNG, then you might not need to do the
Alt Submit, very likely. So let's try that. So basically, if I say, but that's the question. I don't know if by saving it as a PNG, it automatically.
It said specifically you don't. If you use it as a PNG, it automatically.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now here's the question, and this is the part that makes no sense to me. So that worked. I didn't have to specify anything. So I didn't have to put Alt Submit here, because the picture control already knows, okay, it's a PNG, let me load GDI Plus right away.
Yep.
Okay, good, fine. Here's the problem. Oh, but you know what? This answers my question, and that's what I wanted to answer. So here's the problem. If I have a handle like this, H bitmap, I know what's going on now, H bitmap. What happens is the control doesn't know if this is a PNG image. So when I do that, if I go ahead and do that, it is loading the GDI library. But here's the funny part. I try and force Alt Submit here. I try and force GDI Plus, right? With the H bitmap here, but it doesn't work. When I do this, so when I do this and I hit F12, it still fails, even though I'm saying, hey, go ahead and use the GDI library. That's the one part that I do not understand. So if I tell you, use the GDI, grab that bitmap, work with it, it should automatically do what it's supposed to do, but it's not doing it. Now, when it is a file, as we are discussing here, temp, so we had a temp, and this is, what was it, screen.png. Here, it is doing the right thing.
I wonder if set image would work.
Yeah, there it goes. Set image, what do you mean?
Okay, so there's a function. If you open up the GDI plus library, there's a function. It's not a GDI. It's a set. All it does is it sort of like draws to the DC.
Oh well, no. You know what? So here's the. Oh well, look at that. It is sending a message to a handle. Oh, right. I get what you mean. So it's grabbing the pointer and putting it into the control, which is the picture control that I just created, for example.
Yes.
All right,
and
let's try that. That's interesting.
For me, the quality looks better. The quality
okay.
looks
it
better.
It totally might. Because this is doing something, it's using some internal functions for that. Pick control. Let's do this. And then I just send message, which I don't need to do all that. But yeah, I could use the send message command. This has the handle there. This is also a pointer here, and this would be the this.h bitmap. The problem is I have to have a specific size.
No, it's gonna, it will draw, it will try to fill your screen.
All right.
It doesn't care what size you make the control. It doesn't care.
Yeah, that's the problem. So the size here for my control,
okay, so
it
then
should be, hold on, let me add another. So let's have 900 here. Let's see. Yeah, because I do not have a size of the image.
Okay, so then you'll have to, if you want to do it this way, you'll have to take the extra step in the size.
Right, but this one didn't really work. Let me see. No, so this, no, this pointer, yeah, it is like that. It's the, hold on, let me double check that I have all my variables set up. So this guy is a pick. It is an image control that has a handle, right? Where's the handle?
Right there.
There it is. So I have that. And here I have a bitmap number. So yeah, I'm sending the correct message, but it's not really filling it out. So it's not working. Or I have to do a few other things prior to doing that. But in any case, this is a very interesting lesson of what the heck is going on with that control. At least we know that from an image, it is knowing what to do, and it is loading the correct GDI library, now BMP. And I know that that's the case because if it is a BMP and I don't say alt submit,
it's going to give you the right.
It gives you, yeah, so it gives you the old GDI, but if I say alt submit, it does give me the correct. So this here is telling it use GDI plus, and that is working. The only part that is not working is when I do it directly with the H bitmap. So if I tell it alt submit and I use the H bitmap, the handle, it is not using GDI for whatever reason. That is interesting to me. So something
I still find it very weird that you can have an image that you can view it two different ways and it has different values. That's just
well, it's not that you're viewing it two different ways, it's rendering it two different ways. So think about it like this. One function reads the zeros and images, zeros and ones, and sends out a result. And another function reads those same one and zeros and gives you a different result.
I think I know what you're saying. Like
right.
One thing is not it's trying to use transparency, but it can't.
Right. Exactly. So that's what is going on. If you use the old GDI, it doesn't know what to do with transparency bits, so it just doesn't read them. It's just an error.
Whereas I'm seeing it as a whole image that has no transparency anymore. It has no transparency.
Right. Yeah. You're thinking that it is an image that has no transparency, but that's not the case. The image that we saved has those bits encoded in it that has those transparency. It's just that the rendering function doesn't know what to do.
I got you. I understand.
Right? So now this is a good workaround for what I was trying to do. And actually, we just created the save to file function itself. I just have to clean it up a little bit. So that was really, really helpful. I think I got a lot out of this call. Like, this was really great. And
I'm glad I could help.
And this actually,
I'm really glad that I could help, because I don't really do a lot with the DLL side of things, and I don't do the var set capacity. I do more like what I just did.
Right.
talk through? Like just
No, but this is interesting. File delete, and I just go ahead and delete that file in the end. It doesn't really matter. That's it. Like, holy crap. Again, the funny thing about, and that's why I usually go down these rabbit holes, is okay, this was a very simple function. I don't really need that function, but in the process, I learned what the heck is going on with this control. And the fact that sometimes with the H bitmap, it still doesn't load the correct function, which might be a bug in AutoHotkey.
I wonder what would happen. I wonder what would happen is if you converted it to a P bitmap before you tried. No, but then you don't really know.
Yeah, you see, again, it is a very tricky subject, and it seems to me that whatever I was dealing with, it seemed simple, but it is not. It's not that simple. But now I have a function that can take images either from the screen or from the active window or the active client. I think I'm going to add another one that is from, let me see, there's the from window, from active window. So one of them is from active window, from the client, right? From the active ones. But I also want to have, you give me a title of a window and it will take a screenshot of the client area of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's the active ones, but there's also from
clipboard,
from client, and you give me the title or, you know, the handle, which would be the same, like from a handle. So I can give you, I can take a screenshot of a specific control if you give me. So you tell me, get a screenshot of that control if I wanted to. That's basically my goal. And after that, this is a very good library for almost anything you want. And in the end, you end up with an image that will have some functions that you can actually show it, copy it to the clipboard, save it into a file. It just returns an image object that you can do stuff with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, that's later on, you know, by the way, Joe, so this is a very good stepping stone to create the Windows snipping tool, but in version 2, that we don't have to rewrite the whole thing. We already have something that does the main part of it. And yeah, it's just about.
You created something that basically we can do what I did with the first version, was just go steal someone else's work and be like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I grabbed a couple pieces and I made this work. You know, I'm like, that seriously is what I did. People are like, I love it. How did you do this? I'm like, I have no idea. You know,
in this case, the funny thing is, I had a pretty good idea of what I was getting into, but I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole is. Like, holy crap, this really thing with GDI is a whole world on its own. That is not easy. But
it was a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to work out just the frame, or like the inner guts of a custom list box control. So just basically a border with a couple of panels, and the number of calculations that I have to make in order to get it to size itself is just like, I'm like
mind-boggling.
I go for a walk and I'm like, okay, with like 5 variables, I can get a bunch of things done. And then I come in and I start coding it, and before I know it, I have 500 variables.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's basically how it is. No, but I think this was a good lesson for me. It's not that simple, and there's a lot of things going on in the background that we don't really know, especially with images, that make this a little bit of a complex issue. I will try at some point, go to the forums and propose that maybe there is a bug with the alt submit, that if I use alt submit on a handle, it should use the GDI to read that handle. It is not doing that, in my opinion. Probably when I post that in the forums, they're going to say, no, this is something totally expected because this is this and that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. Thank you very much for that, man.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, thank you, Hellbent.
Okay, that's it.